Creative Dream Radio. Welcome to the Creative Dream Radio. Broadcasting to you live. Welcome to the Creative Dream.
Hello and welcome to the Zimeian's Global Concerns Creative Dream Live Radio. Your host, Michael, and creator of the Zimeian's Global Concerns, and Cedric Poe and Daniel Branham. We did these arts when we were kids. Not many of the stuff I have up there for many reasons. I kind of see why I have the stuff up there limitly and not the full mangas, not the full comic books, not the artworks that we did when we were kids. A lot of reasons why it never really took off the way I wanted. It happens to the best of us. I wanted to get a lot of the work up, first of all. This is the first scenario talking about it. I wanted to get it up and share it with everybody online and everything. And it just went one loophole to another. Without a proper team, it does make it kind of challenging, and not to even have anything, and it makes more sense. And a lot of people individually can put things up, but in my stake, I'm finding out my brain's a slow processor, and I'm going to admit the truth to it because, you know, a lot of people don't want to admit things, and the way my life has been, it's been struggles a lot of times. So that's just the one thing I want to bring to most of the attention there. Because when I was young as a kid, I had epilepsy. I was epileptic, and I outgrew it by the time I was 21, 22. I went to college. I almost became a combat pilot. Many reasons why I didn't get there, and I also had a lung issue at that time too, and it stopped me from a lot of stuff. But after I got out of college, I had offers from Nintendo to work for them, and I was going for that. But then I also had offers from Electronic Arts. I also had offers mostly from Disney to go to Paris. They usually have like a little pamphlet how to test your drawing skills back in the day of the 2000s and stuff. And you submit it in. I would have been going to Paris for Disney. Nintendo, I would have been in Seattle, Washington, not knowing what I would do. I just wanted to design games, animate. And then I didn't have the money, and I didn't realize corporations would actually pay for stuff. And that was the thing back in the day. What stopped me? And I worked jobs all my life. I have a mind of a millionaire. I think we're all very smart. People are very smart, and it's just we struggle throughout life. And there's many reasons. Sometimes there are excuses more. These things happen to us. So many things happen. I lost so many loved ones over the years. I said if my neighbor passed away, I would move. It never happened. He was my best friend. He was up there in his 70s. He passed away, and he was like the bestest friend. Um, I had my best friend, which was my camera guy, editor. He worked the Goodwill. He was a Hot Wheels fan. He knew a lot of WWE superstars, mostly WWF. He was a NASCAR fanatic. His name was Jeremy. He did a lot of things. He got sick. He passed away. And he had one of the biggest funerals ever, and I wasn't able to make it. It just ripped my heart out. It was my best friend Daniel's. He's my co-partner, Daniel, and Cedric Poe's my co-partner. Cedric, he has his own family to worry about and things. I'm letting him know what's going on right now. There's some good news at the end of the story. I don't know what way this is going yet. I can say one thing and it's another thing. But and then my grandfather passed away. That's what hurt me the most. And the family business was kind of lost right there. And he did a lot. He was a Vietnam Black Ops, and also he did the Air America at the end. Um, and mostly he did supply drops as well and maintenance. Did a lot of things. And he had three Purple Hearts, a Medal of Honor. He did a lot, and he put all his money into his hardware store in Washington State. And that's, I guess, the family business traits run into somebody. But even if you're successful or not, and I'll be honest, I haven't been so successful. But my whole life, I was told work hard, earn hard, work, and that's not always the truth with a millionaire. There's other ways, affiliate programs we go through. A lot of YouTubers do that, and if you don't do affiliate programs, that's your sponsor sometimes too. But then sponsors usually call you. But nowadays, a lot of YouTubers will grab for affiliate programs and have other kinds of words to fill in the blanks and to sell that product and give you a code and you go into it. And that's how we make our money. And or we get into tea sprees like t-shirts. There's so many different printing factories and things, and even sometimes people partner up, and then usually that's almost like a sponsor, but it's a partner where they're gonna make a product out there. And a lot of people will, once they have enough money from YouTube views or some certain things, they go out and go into Walmart and you get stuff on the shelves. Sometimes if you're up to, and sometimes most of these guys will be a limited time. Sometimes they'll be fully if you're big enough. And for small creators, it's very challenging. I'm still consider myself a small creator because on my Classic Order Gameplays channel, there's just so many viewers that come in and go. And today's this is topics about my business, and not even just about my business, is what's going on with the internet. A lot since the UK. I'm gonna get back to my business stuff to talk about it more and why so many delays on so many things. Well, we'll get into more with the Zimeian's global concerns at the end of this a little bit. But the biggest reason why also I am doing this podcast today is my channels could be in danger, literally, with this new government acts that are going on from nation to nation to nation. Because within all these nations right now, they are doing this Children's Act thing, which is a good thing, but it's more regulation in new laws they're trying to put into the internet. And it is terrifying for how some of it is. And they're relying on to AI for most of the situations, which AI does not solve everything. We're still in a lot of progress and working that has to make AI work better. And you gotta remember, the programmer programs the codes that go into the AI for the AI to select and grow from. It's not just training an AI, because training an AI is putting the correct codes, what you want the AI to do. Because the AI is also programmed to work robotically for robotic engineering as well as much as software engineering. So when a writer puts code into an AI, the information that is in there is making best. It is an auto button. It's like an auto button, but it's like a code that gives it, like when you select in a video. I'm gonna give an example, simple for the human mind. When you select like original NES game or a game that has selection menus, when you select into something, well, it has an auto selector, and the computer goes between a 0 and 1 or number 2 or 3, how many selections there are, and it tries to pick out the best scenario number between a ratio and a certain systematic that is put into the system of the code. And it allows the computer to pick the best scenario possible. And this is how AI works. But nowadays, they've been using it for the last about 10, 15 years as experimental, and it grew into cookie tracking. And cookie tracking is a surveillance that is being used through phone companies from time Obama was in, because they did something like that through the FBI and stuff to make sure that we weren't doing illegal things. And people got mad in the public and it rejected it. I love Obama. He was a great president, I think. But every president, they have their undertale secrets that they don't want us to know. But anyways, I'm not to talk about all the politics and stuff. They say don't talk politics and religion. A lot of people do that nowadays. It's like a theme or something now nowadays. But I'm not gonna get into that stuff. But the whole point is, um, this stuff's been going on for a while, and also real ID stuff has been too. There's nothing new about it. Now the internet already has age restrictions and things in place. So what more is these countries trying to do? spy on other American people, spy on other people from other countries because they don't trust them, things like this. And it worries my mind within that because we already have things in place, especially in America, and companies that run businesses, especially if this stuff you're supposed to not be looking at, they have um, things you have to get yourself approved in by giving your information out to begin with. So, like on YouTube, like if you're monetized, they got your social security, they got your references, they got your address, they got your intel if you're monetized. They know your family name. What more do they want? Are they selling you? Are they selling you like Facebook said, well, we'll sell you in your images if you're using our service for free? So is YouTube coming to that point? Now, YouTube, I love them a lot, and we all respect them as YouTubers, but we get upset when there's a change that could affect the communities and may not operate right. That's one of the biggest situations we worry about. That's why you see all these people doing these complaints, these big jib jabs. They are very concerned. And when you give information out, taking full photo IDs and full credit card information, where is it going? What more can it be when you already have it with the company? And that just provides, oh wait a minute, the hackers go, wait, now all this information is getting out there. It can end up on the dark web, and it can end up with hackers because I do programming for small RPG games and I do build small websites, and I have quite a few websites and certain things out there, and yet I still work a job because I don't get proper views because YouTube's algorithm is limited on engagement. When people watch video games and reviews, engagement doesn't have to be that big. It may be a one-time deal. They might not even write anything on video game stuff. There are more bots out there. I think YouTube, if I was with them and helping Google and stuff, the first thing I would want to do is find a way we can fight back on these bots and make sure we're getting proper subscribers and not fake numbers that are coming in, because this has happened to a lot of us that are innocent, even if we do promotions. And I see people do promotions on things that YouTube's literally against, and it gets out there, and then like my promotions, they're minor, and it's not really a commercial ad, but sometimes I'll do them, and they say they deny it, and so I have to go through the one of the ones Mr. Beast recommended to go through, and also he does stats as well. People have got upset with the stats because certain images and stuff that can be pulled, they're afraid of the AI bank dropping our thumbs. But a lot of people every day are stealing our thumbs and stuff. And it is sad because when you create something great, it and people just take it. What's out on the web stays on the web. It happens. And if you're a company you want to get going, like I'm trying to, because I'm at the point I need, I might have to go through ZipRecruiter or do something down the future. But with the way things are going on the net, it now it seems like it's going to become a government controlled thing, and it's going to break countries apart. We don't need another civil war. Now there's so many things going on right now, in where I feel that this is a good idea and a bad idea. Bad idea is on innocent people are being affected, because when one person does wrong, it affects everybody else, and also companies could panic as well in businesses, and depending how you look at things. And this means everything and anyhow. Internet is really rapidly changing, and a lot of people fear things, or they want things to be their way and no way. So you got so many multitudes. That's where we get collisions. Yeah, we should be advertising, having our videos promote to American citizens in America that have interests, and that's the same with other countries like Great Britain. They should have things within their stuff. But when these regulations and rules are, should be only within their country. But when it's a universal net site, they should have some kind of software programmed in there for just for location. So I'm in the United States location. Well, that should be only for the United States people. But then they will worry about, well, anybody can just put anything in to say anything. Well, they have enough trackers out there affecting us already ahead of time. Why don't they just use something like that just to determine their location? Unless they have a VPN, then you can't do nothing about it. There's always a loophole within the internet. That's the problem, and they're afraid of it. Now, Japan, besides my squeaky chair, Japan has a new technology that's been worked on for the last 10 years, They are way advanced on AI right now than anybody in the world right now. And this is the only reason I think this real ID thing is coming into place right now, maybe because of Japan's new internet server. It's going to be a most advanced AI system. It's going to be it's so fast. It's faster than 5G. It's faster than anything in its robotics engineering. And this is why I bring this up again. And this is really high tech server services, and it's faster than a blink of an eye. It's faster than the net itself. It's so fast, I don't know what to poke a stick at. And right now, it's still being experimental stage after 15 years. And I'm like, holy crap, this has been going on since. So that's amazing. Japan always comes up with great things. I tell you, a lot of Asian cultures are very, very smart, smarter than we think, and us Americans are too. And same with people in the UK. And this is where a lot of deviation comes in sometimes, where someone wants to be cricket out of one of the million people around the world. That's the scariest parts. And then, like I said, all it takes is a hacker to do something with real ID and hurt us on YouTube. So, what way are we going with technologies? It's not about the children, it's about a lot of other things because everyone's worried about this. It's parents' responsibility to take care of kids, and we should know that. Video games, it's a like and don't like. I don't know why, and it starts small groups and stuff causing problems. You know, it's good to have groups and stuff, but it doesn't go mean attack people and stuff by their opinions. Maybe they do need some kind of regulation to age verifications and stuff, though things might be open in some sources. But the facts are, it's on the company's behalf what they do and what they don't do. And there's always better alternatives if you could find the alternatives. I know it's always a tight squeeze when things do threaten down, but that's a whole different subject. People need to realize the net is a mixed world, and you can't just go out accusing things because you may not understand it properly. Sometimes I just wonder if there's a bunch of old farts causing problems more than anything else. But it's sometimes these next gen people because I'm telling you, there's things that are going back and forth, and when there's ones that don't understand, they cause problems, and then ones that do understand, they do it out of vengeance, or maybe because they don't like something, they cause a group to cause many problems, and it's pretty bad. And I'm not poking sticks at nobody, and I'm not saying nothing bad, but it's getting pretty awkward. And this is where it comes down with me. I want to change stuff for how we look at it myself because if you don't play the game, you lose your channels, you lose your websites, you lose everything else, and if you don't have time to outsmart it, you're in the crossfire. So I'm almost in between ahead of the game and also in the crossfire. Depending how this stuff goes starting today, how it's going to go starting tomorrow, I tell you, kids get into everything, and this is where the problem is, where a lot of YouTubers are saying, well, kids find a way around. They make false scan faces of games, they have like all this other kinds of stuff, and it gets approved. And it's so easy for them to take their parents' stuff like credit cards, ID, and just screw it over that way. So it's no really salvations with that some kid getting in mama and papa's wallet and causing a problem or asking permission, could you help me, mom and dad? And most of the times it's the parents' fault. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes the kids are spoiled too. And so it's like, what way is this going? It just doesn't make no sense. And it's like, does now government wants to play mommy and daddy for every citizen around the world? I like to see one person just start knocking house to house. By the time they'll be a 100-year-old person, or get something bad happens, who knows? But that's just a scenario. It's just a theory and a game theory. Matt Pat, I love him, and Matt Pat fight for us YouTubers. This AI stuff is trouble, and I think it's going to hurt businesses. I think it's going to hurt young people, but it might be a good thing. It might be over exaggerated because right now I have seen people over exaggerate stuff and make it a problem and where it's not even a problem. So yeah, that's just one of the things. My headset's like off center. I can see it. Um, but yeah. Wow, I'm just trying to straighten my headset because it's off center. That's a little bit better. But yeah, just I'm hoping that maybe he could do something because he is trying to work with them and stuff like that. Um, I have my old room as my background. Yeah, so I'm just if anybody's wondering why. Oh yeah, he's using a green screen. Yep. And I have a Jack Russell. He's barking. But yeah, this is the thing I'm worried about. Starting today, starting tomorrow. So this stuff's out there on YouTube now, and I do wish YouTube the best of luck with this, but I'm just hoping channels ain't swabbed down because kids they get on everything and anyhow. So it's no way of stopping it. It's just gonna affect users. It's gonna affect people. It's gonna literally affect the people that is doing YouTube, no matter what way. And like I have a lot of colorful stuff on my material for thumbs and even games. Anybody that plays a game, it's affectable. And I understand where they say, oh yeah, maybe fair use ain't fair use anymore. Well, that's because it's nationwide, and I think if it's coming to this type of stuff, it definitely has to be the rules of that nation. So I'm set to United States, and I think for the rules of that nation should be within that nation then because it shouldn't be affecting outside. So if someone's coming to view me from another nation, they will not be able to see it. And if it requires a face scan or real ID, then it'll be through that nation's rules and policies where certain places may not do it, but then if they do it, they have these rules. I think that's where YouTube really needs to effectively have that in the system because it's affecting everybody and it's not fair to other people when there's different regulations in different parts of the world. Not even just that, getting removing the channel without settling or solving the problem or knowing what the problems are is a dumb thing to do because a person could be completely innocent or they have no clue what's going on or how to fix the problem and they put all that work into videos, they put all this in there. it, YouTube is definitely going to have to talk with their customers. They're going to have to do something because AI ain't going to solve all that. It's going to make a bigger hassle. It's going to make a bigger hassle. Yes, AI is going to solve the situations, but could make more situations by selection choice. Now, AI is amazing technology, but it takes a lot of responsibility. And those are the problems that I see within that. And we have to focus on what's happening around the world as well, yes. But children ain't going to be the answer. It's just to say these are new governing rules and policies that are taking effect around the world. These are things that why we might be changing, why you have to be careful, but then also to discuss it before any actions take place, find out. Now it's a very serious thing. Even if it's fair use or not, or even if it is where you might be in trouble. See, that's the thing. People don't talk about the situations or know what's going on. Yes, there are people that are nasty and that ain't going to do shit. I'm sorry for saying that, but there's people that are nasty and are not going to do anything. And it can be very bad. Yeah, and then that's where you can take action. If they're nasty to you, slam them with whatever that might be from that policy, from that rule. Then slam them if they're not going to be reasonable. Definitely that's just the thing, you know. But the real ID is dangerous. Putting your data, if you are already monetized, I think YouTube should allow it to be, and that's your identification. But honestly, if anything that might affect children, they had a blocker when they first did it, when they first had to make these changes, they need to put a blocker in place. Like, yeah, they're not going to be able to see this because it's kids. If it's kids getting onto an adult site, what I'm saying, they're not going to be able to see it. And that's the same for adults. If they don't want adults seeing kids stuff, don't let us see it. Because there are families out there and they have multiple channels and things, and they're going to be affected by this. You talk about families matter, that ain't going to matter. It's gonna hurt families. Like if you're a father and your kid wants to watch YouTube and something that might be a children's program with their daddy, and it might be on daddy's account. Well, daddy just lost his account. That's not going to be good. And then it's like if a kid, the only thing you worry about is the kid sneaking on daddy's account without his permission. But the idea is those type of things will happen. So those are things to think about how it's going to affect YouTubers. And also, when we're scrolling on the phones, things break in. We can't stop it because on shorts, they just go to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. On shorts, if you want to watch something and you might be monetized, and you're watching something on shorts, it might end up on a kid's platform. That needs to be fixed, YouTube. And there's false advertisements. There's things that are really bad that are AI. It's disturbing sometimes. That ends up on there. I don't even want to see. I say remove it, block it, and it gives me why you want to do that. Well, it's really bad content, and sometimes it's okay. I don't mind it. Sometimes some of the spooky stuff or weird stuff is okay, but then when it's overdone, it's really bad. It's so disgusting. You don't want to. It says everybody has their own flavor, what they like to watch, but automatic playing into the next short, just to make money. It's a good thing, but if you're going to have this AI rule, the shorts need to opt out. The shorts need to be able to be stopped because it's brainwashing in a way. It's really bad and I understand it's because it's a phone platform. There's got to be a solution for that, not to be rolling into every short. It's just because the algorithm chooses what you may like or not like because you watched it. It's not always the correct answer. But anyways, I think YouTube is doing a great job and stuff. They just need to improve, see what's going on here, and AI is something needs to be worked with constantly and monitored because innocent people will get banned for no reason. So I'm hoping YouTube's aware of this, and I'm hoping that they know the dark web will try to attack them and stuff. They need to be more secured and alert if they're going to go for real ID. I think a face scan, even though it might be a false face, a kid might imitate it. It might be the safer thing, and especially if you're already monetized, that should be no problem for anything to be going in. It shouldn't be it should not have to worry about your ID. But if you're just a YouTuber without no proper signups, no proper things, yeah, I say, yeah, real ID it then. But the idea is, the idea is, I think it's going to take more strategy, more time researching this stuff, and a lot of YouTubers are really scared right now. And that's what I'm saying. They are terrified. The ones that realize it and know what's going on, they are scared. I'm willing to comply with YouTube and work with YouTube any way that I can. I have made video games and software in my past. I'm an animator. I have about 7 channels out there. But I'm hoping to get my studio out there myself. I'm hoping to work with Bandai Namco and Sunrise. And a lot of these big companies out there might be affected by this too, and even small companies. So that's the only thing I want to say. I wish everybody the best of luck. I'm not like griping on stuff, but I'm hoping YouTube really can do a difference and prove us wrong. It is getting scarier with social platforms. I might be getting off of like Twitter. I like Twitter a lot, but I might probably be getting off it because communities are sometimes getting nasty out there, and I might be banking away from certain things because I don't know what to make of it, but I just want to stay with YouTube and as long as I can with one of my most beloved partners. Stick strong with YouTube. And it's constantly changing, and I'm worried for my own website as well. And now, just talk about the Zimeian's global concerns. To change subject because these topics could go on forever. Zimeian's global concerns is my first comic book I did as a kid, turned into a manga down the road, inspired by many '80s cartoons and materials. So I also say it's fan based, though I have a copyright and trademark, and I do not want to be infringing on companies so they may look like something. It is something under fair use as much as um, I do have copyright law and everything set and geared for the last couple good years with trademark and stuff. I will be getting a building, finally a coffee shop studio with displays, and I love Sunrise, it's one of my most favorite anime companies through Bandai Namco. I love Gundam, and I have Gundams all in my shop, and I'm a third party with Bandai Namco, and I want to work with Sunrise, and I would love to see my artwork out there, whatever we can do. Give me a buzz. I'm trying to carry out my grandfather's hardware. He lost his hardware store. I want a survival section for that, and I also want a cocktail arcade machines with my game on it. Is what I want, and have some coffee. People to sit down. I want double plane plexi over the top, custom made ones. I am gonna have a beautiful thing. I'm trying to fix my website up. And YouTube. I'm hoping my gaming channel. What's going to change with my gaming channel is going to become a full podcast for my TV show, Classic Quarter Gameplays. I will be ending the seasonal seasons. Season 3 is already ended. I just need to get to season 4. I have time for it. I'm tired of working for people, and I want to just be a part of YouTube. I want to be a part of Bandai Namco and Sunrise. I want to be a part of my own business and getting this stuff operational and serving the veterans and military by a museum of history with my family and stuff. Um, I'm trying to get it open up in Washington, Spokane, and also have something in Montana. My two places I grew up as a child, and I lost my grandfather. He passed away. Lost the family business, and I hope to get the store back or build something 1,000 times better. I have plans how I want to do this. I hoping the people I'm shouting out to, the big companies, Google, YouTube, Bandai Namco, and Sunrise, contact me, walk with me, talk with me. I am here to help people. I have suffered all my life. I started on my YouTube as a comedian thing and did a lot of weird stuff, but now I'm where I want to do the right things and get things going and stand up for the communities. I just want to get my own coffee shop started, and that's pretty much it. And right now, I'm in a wait for this to happen. I am going for a grant, and for I'm waiting on some connections to get if it goes through or approved or not. I'm hoping it approves because it's very expensive for getting a studio. I don't even know if I have the correct amount of money down for this. So, and right now, I just need support on my YouTube channels. I have a nature channel dedicated to a friend that passed away, two friends that passed away, Casey Sullivan and Jeremy Davison, which I did mention, and he's Werwick, the werewolf, the nature channel, and it's one of my main channels. It's kind of AI-eyed in the middle, but then it's him at the beginning with the acting voice and his character with the mask. So, um, and then same with Casey. That's what those channels are for. There is another channel that I haven't done nothing with yet. It's dedicated to my grandfather that passed away as well. But then the Zimeian's Global Concerns is dedicated to all of us, because us as kids, Cedric, Casey, Jeremy, me, Rob, um, and family. It's all about that, and it's about education, responsibilities, and it's more for adults because we kind of lose our way as we get older, and just put hope in our hearts for anime fans everywhere and comic book fans. Um, and it's mostly safe for everybody to view, but I keep it as adult. And like I said, a lot of my stuff is set for 18 and older or adult or not for kids. I have it not for kids on YouTube, but like I said, kids sneak onto everything, and that's what worries me. And I'd rather have everything on my website than so I know that I actually did something wrong than um, being on YouTube having that problem. So I would like to work with YouTube, make sure this stuff is safe, and that my stuff will last a long time. So that's why I'm doing all this change now, trying to wrap everything up. And I appreciate everybody just hearing me talk, this big chat blab. And the reason why I'm so delayed and everything, I had a blood clot that made me sick in my leg. I've been taking care of it. It's been shrinking. It's pretty much a vascular vein issue, but it's such a bad thing. It felt like I had the leg, the whole calf would hurt. My leg would swell up so bad, like it would explode. It was so bad on me, and I've been eating healthier. I've been doing stuff, but I still got this weight on my gut. I don't know what's causing it. I hope it ain't a hernia or anything, but dear gosh. But that I just hope I solved a lot of issues. I've been exercising a lot more, getting out more. I want to get out of Pennsylvania, get up in Seattle, up in Spokane, Spokane, Washington, and get my business going. So this is to wait back on the call. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but I can use all the support from fellow YouTubers. My favorite YouTuber is Jacksepticeye. Oh God, love his heart, and I like him because the humor and everything. And I also like Markiplier. I like Mr. Beast, but I know Jack don't like him. But I love Jimmy a lot. I wonder because he mentioned my grandmother with the great back in the great days. Yeah, but my great grandmother Woods, she and the family was one of the first to put rubber on a wagon wheel. And this is where I wonder, if Mr. Beast is somehow related to my great, because he mentioned that before at one time. And my grandmother Ross Lee Woods, which is Ross Lee Hicks now, but Ross Lee Woods is my grandmother now, and she's in the nursing home. That's how I went down to Washington to visit family, because most of my family comes from North Carolina. I have a lot of family in North Carolina. A lot are cousins now, because a lot down my grandmother's side has passed away, and I have Cherokee and Chickasaw Native American cousins as well. That's into the family, married into the family. And a lot of my family's farmers down in North Carolina. And so is my grandfather Hicks, and that's where my grandfather married my grandmother Ross Lee and Ross Lee Woods. So she moved. They moved. My grandfather was in the military, and when he retired, she moved out to Washington State, and that's where they had their kid. That's where everyone and the kids and everything. And that's how also my father found my mom. So my father's even a veteran as well. So like I said, I wonder if Mr. Beast is related somehow to me, the Donaldson family. They might be cousins or somehow married into the family, or because when he mentioned my great great grandmother, I was like, whoa. Jimmy just mentioned my great great grandmother. Is Jimmy related to me? And I bugged him like twice when I went on the trip because I was depressed because I thought I might have had cancer at that time. Something's wrong with me. Something's wrong with my health, and I knew I had that vascular vein that was the size of a freaking blood clot on my leg, and I have this bump on my arm here. It's on a vein. It's like a blistered out on the vein, and it's terrifying. I never had that there before, and I'm like, oof. And it's like, I just wonder if that's something to worry about because I never seen that. It's like, oh my lord. Well, I'm getting older. I'm not getting any younger, so. But yeah, and I said if Jimmy ever helped me, I would be happy if I get my business, the studio. I would definitely sell his Feastables for him because I love his cookies and cream one, and it's gone in Walmart all the time. I'm like, dang, people just love that. It goes like wildfire. It's a big seller. I love his peanut butter one too. Peanut butter and the cookie and cream. That's a sweet treat. Um, so I love candy. My grandfather always sold candy in his hardware store before he passed away, though. Yeah. But anyways, I also have a friend named Moody Data in the UK. I feel that with that ID check, it's pretty hard on them, and he's a big YouTuber in the UK, one of the big YouTuber gamers, and 3D art designer. Is really beautiful work he does. I'm hoping the best for his Undertale, so I say go support him as well. But I'm hoping some of my favorite big YouTubers. I mean, I used to watch. I started the same time Rocket Jump started, and Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. I'm one of the old YouTubers that've been around, but a small channel. Um, I don't even think I'm gonna reach any higher subscribers on my channel. It would have a lot of interest. I have 7 channels, like I said. This channel is my Zimeian's animated channel. I would love to get actually some of my real work out there, but I finding out I need a team to help remaster some of my works, and I want them original as possible. I have ways I want to do stuff, and I can't do this alone anymore. So it's a lot of work. And I says if I succeed, it's got to take a miracle. It's got to take a big miracle from the people. My gaming channel, like I said, most of my stuff ain't for kids 100%. Though I try to keep it friendly as possible. Yes, there might be a few things, one or two in there, because I always like visual effects. I went to college for visual effects. I went to college for commercial arts, visual effects, color design, airbrushing, drawing 101. I love drawing, one of my biggest things. I also did video game design after college. Um, I learned 10 times more on computers after college. Just the weirdest thing. You go to college, they want you to know the computers, but you really don't pick up on a lot of the stuff until after. And I only went to college for animations. It was the whole point. And I only got a certificate out of it. And everybody wanted me because my professor recommended how good I was. I had, like I said, Nintendo. I had all these big names, but you know, and I had Disney, and I had everybody coming for me. And I love Disney World. They're amazing, but they have been doing things that have been upsetting the communities lately, and sometimes it's actually the employees too. But I tell you, the old school artworks really people look for the nostalgia, but they love the 3D modeling when it comes to space or when it comes to certain things. It depends. And then when it comes to live acting, action pack works, but depending how you do stories nowadays, it could fail in a heartbeat. So it really depends. I'm a big fan of Bandai Namco. Like I said, I would want to work with them, and I do care about their small animators, small creators are disappearing. It's not good. And we have billions of us here on YouTube doing creations every day as artists, idealists, creativities, building stuff, doing so much stuff. And out in the real world, to own a small business and stuff is challenging. It's really hard. It's a scary because you're up against competition and everything. Here I'm just gonna make something really nice, and I wish my books would go through Bandai and stuff, and I could get a team together to help work with this old school stuff. So Bandai and Sunrise, I would want to work with Sunrise. I love Gundam. I love all the Gundam series. The last Gundam G-Quacks, everybody's a little awkward with it. It was a good series, but it had its moments. A lot of original Gundam fans, us Grandpa Gundam guys, or old school lovers, we could see, it was something different, definitely with the G-Quacks. I liked it. I liked it as it progressed, but it's almost the same as Witcher Mercury, but way different. But then it was like certain things with G-Quacks. G-Quacks, I liked it, but I didn't like it. It had that scenario on this side of the party and that side of the party. I would love to do a series on Gundam that would explain the timelines, what Sunrise wants it, what it was meant to be, and how it progresses today. Because I think a lot of certain Gundam series works from lost colonies, making it back to Earth. A lot of the Gundam series are rarely in a dimensional timeline. And I think with the Gundam series, it goes from Amuro. Amuro is the main legend of Gundam. And then even Solomon from Gato from 83, because he was a legend after and still after, and then how it became down the line on the story. But Gundam is one of my favorite things, and plus me being in the Air Force, space and avionics, and knowing how commanders and generals work and certain things, every military is actually different on branch. The last thing you're going to do is put a general on the field. The last thing you're going to put somebody who's going to put themselves in danger. You're going to have more of commanding officers, lieutenants, sergeants. They're going to be on the field more. And depending how that country, also within a country, how they operated differently. So some countries might have put their generals on the field. Some countries might have not. So, and then you look at the colonists. How did the colonists operate? And you got to remember, original Gundam was based off of World War II type things. Same with Zeon. Zeon was like Germany. And then the other half was Japan and the other countries that were fighting for their freedoms. So it's this things, if you look at that from the original artists and writers. And then Gundam Wing was fighting for the colonists of the corruption that was happening from Earth to them to stop this war stuff, this nonsense. And they were going for pacifism and peace. Listen to the stories. And I think Gundam Wing is a future Gundam from Amuro's time. So Gundam Wing is a future, like even 8300 is a future thing. But it was also telling stories maybe on from other countries. Remember, there's other countries, maybe other mobile suits, maybe there was different Gundams. And I would love to see Sunrise piece together how they fit in the timeline, who was future, who was fighting the same wars even a little bit after the war. Just like Gundam in the Pocket was the Alex leading into Amuro's movies and stuff. But what happened to Amuro's girlfriend from Zeta? And how did it into the movie Char's counterattack and all this other Gundam stuff? Where did this new girl come from? They should have a little explanation on a side story like that. They should make something. I feel also the SD Gundams, you know how Halo has Cortana and the AIs? I feel the SD Gundams is that. The SD Gundams are AIs, living AIs like Cortana from Halo. So that's how I feel. And they could place the AIs into Horos, small little robots, the small characters off of build fighters that are AI'd, because they said they're the particles, but actually it's a digital part of the breakers. And I think the breakers is schooling for Gundam pilots, schooling or tournaments for sport. And there's actual real Gundam pilots. So these are colonies out in space. They're not just Earth, or they're probably colonies representing Earth, and they have showed that in Char's Origins. So they represent things, and they might think they're actually on Earth and they're not, and they are a space noid. So you might be in shock. So you never know what Sunrise may do to surprise us. Me, I have a mobile suit Gundam Jim Sniper, and I've been working on a story I would love Sunrise to do and stuff for classic order gameplays, but for my model kit channel, which is Zimeian's. But like I said, I'm changing everything that I do. Hold up, I'll be right back, everybody. Got to move my Efrit. My Efrit's in the way, and my little Jim Sniper robot. I custom this to collect dust. I showed it on my Gunpla channel. I gave him strikes, freedoms, wings, and funnels. I don't know if you can see him because I have the background thing on. He's my gym sniper. He has Amore's high new funnels, the experimental funnels, and then he has this gym sniper shield. Because with the background thing on, it kind of knocks out the wings. He has the strikes wings. I'm gonna hold him right here. It'll be better to hold him right here. So and he has a little SD saber. He has the funnels, the high noon funnels from Build Fighters, and then he has body armor plates, and he has the high noon beam rifle, and he also can carry snipers. The wings were supposed to fold up and down, but the wings are just glued in that spot. So I custom this whole guy, and he also has the Pale Riders rocket funnels, like the 6-shot funnels that a Ifrit would carry. So I custom this whole one. And I even have them on a plaque. So, yep. And I wanted to do a story explaining Gundam timelines, and I was trying to do that, and I've been working on Blender with it, and then it's not going so well. I don't know if I'm gonna do stop motion. I was hoping to. It's like the second time I lost all the data on my animations. It eats up a lot when you're building a big platform in 3D. I want to start showing some of my work softs, but I'm so busy because I work a job and then I come home, and then it's lucky if I get stuff in. So my podcasts are monthly to monthly, if I do any lives, and then every 7 days I want to try to get stuff up on all my channels, but mostly you'll see more stuff on the Classic Order Gameplays, my gaming channel. And it's like the lazy man's way out, which I don't like it. But I'm going to wrap things up. I'm just wishing me luck. I hope to get the studio, get some real animation artists in. I would love to work with Sunrise and Bandai Namco. I would love to work with YouTube and Google. I would like to work with these companies and get something going. I'd like to get my manga out there. Please, Japan, help me. Please, Sunrise, help me. Please. And like I said, I'm willing to change. I'm trying to change my gaming channel because I don't think fair use just playing multiple video games and stuff is gonna be safe anymore. Nintendo's going hog wild at people, and I don't need that because I have played a few things and did stuff. And like I said, that stuff was technically a TV show when I way back, way back, and I mean this way back. And now I changed over time, and I'm trying to switch over, dedicate to Gundam directly. I'm hoping to work with Sunrise and also work with Bandai. I want to be my own individual studio, but to do some collabs, even to talk with YouTube and stuff, because I think the AI is going to need a lot of improvements. It's going to have to grow over the years. And like I said, there's so many big users and stuff and so many things. And you don't know. Kids are just going to happen to run across stuff, even if they are going to pull a fast one over us. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat. And the only way I wanted to say this before I did wrap it up. YouTube, I think the AI process check should really recommend if someone's going after somebody's channel. I think that's where they should get doxxed from the ID, real ID, passport, face scan, and all that stuff. I think that's because we have more problems with people going after our channels, and sometimes we're just an innocent person out there talking, or even doing something like this, or doing animations or something, and we just get nailed. I'm hoping YouTube could come up with a solution for that, because we could write something, type something, anybody could do anything to defend themselves or accuse somebody, and it's terrifying when you don't mean no harm, and sometimes you don't see yourself, but sometimes you do, and you know what you did, and it could be a cluster of stuff. I mean, those were, I think, could be some serious issues. I says we need like proof that is there something really there because they're reporting something or saying something? Um, we should have some kind of defense. I think that would be a great way of doing that, putting the data information there when they're going after a channel. So like the person, well, if they want to claim something or do something, they need to put that information. And I think they need to give their location, where they live, their real ID, face scan, social security, and um, especially go in. They have to go in their channel, get the main tag, and then get the video, have that copy link, and then they have to fly out for if it's a court matter or anything. They have to fly out to a court in that location and set that location in court and be in their area for their laws and rules for that for the ones they are accusing. So and not to be at their house address because nobody should get the innocent person's address. It should be all at the person that's causing the problem. So so that it's going after a person. But then if it's in vice versa, like an innocent person in defense, they could put the disclaimer instant right back and so forth without a hassle. But those are ideas. Um, but with the way ID, just for anybody getting hit with that, kids are going to find ways around it. It also leads to a problem with the dark web and security issues. But I don't know if this is all tying to this new Japanese technology for internet speed and stuff. I just have that hunch that might be part of it, why this stuff kicked up. But then it started from a small group in Australia causing problems, but it led to government and everything else. So well, we could do it too. And I think it's who could own the internet. It's what's going on right now. And it's very scary. And YouTube, you're better than this. You be strong. Be smart about this stuff. I'm rooting for YouTube. I know us YouTubers rely on YouTube and Google a lot. So I'm hoping they could do better choices and be smart about this and programmers to talk with their programmers and best suggestions scenarios how to handle this. Like I said, if you're already monetized and everything, it shouldn't be a problem. If you have your age sets and you followed YouTube's instructions from day one when they did this stuff, YouTube should have settings in place for people not to view your stuff or get on your stuff. And it should be targeted at the person that viewed it, not the person that is making the video, because they already have the setting. This is not for kids, it's for adults or so whatever, however it may be set. And if it's not followed through that regulation, and the viewer that viewed it should be asked those questions before anything else, because YouTube is a special platform for all creators, and all creators want to keep their channels alive. As long as they ain't violating anything, it should be good. And I'm hoping YouTube could grow and help fellow content creators, and also have ways to work with them than what's been good. If what I've been hearing is some channels been hit hard, might be in good reasons, but try to find out solving solutions. But in stuff like I talked about. But that's all I have to say. YouTube's a wonderful platform, and also has faced a lot of controversies in the past, and I understand the struggles. So I'm just hoping this will work properly. And right, AI makes more mistakes than anything, so it has to be monitored, the AI itself, because AI does do broken mistakes sometimes. So I'm hoping YouTube can monitor it, make sure their customers and their creators are well protected, that everything won't cause problems. But we should be more focused, maybe to train the AI to go after bots that are causing problems, maybe to do things to look at these bots or these hacks that are breaking into YouTube causing problems, more than children acts, more to causing problems, that these type of things that are affecting websites as well. We need to find ways to protect our sites and protect certain things like that than worry about children acts, because children are more a parent's responsibility than anything. And plus YouTube already got plenty of setting. They already got a setting in there than more than anything. So we'll see how this works. That's all we could do, and be thankful we are still keeping strong. And thank you, YouTube, for everything you do, and thank you for all fellow YouTubers. And shout out to everyone. I may not have links below, but I mentioned some really super YouTuber names, and I respect everybody. So see, that's the thing. We need to respect everybody. When you see something you don't like on YouTube, well, there's ways to avoid it, and there's ways to say I'm not interested. There's a not interested button. You just got to find that not interested button and highlight it. I'm not interested in those videos. They even have a block button if you don't want to see the person. They have block and not interested. Mostly not interested is the safest one, and then you could remove it out of your history on your phone. So yeah, there's stuff out there, better ways than causing issues. So YouTube has a lot of options, and you just gotta know where to look on their settings. So, anyways, I'm over talking. I always do that. Shame on me. See you on the next Zimeian's Global Concerns. I'm hoping to get some really cool stuff up and get some works out there for you. Like I said, I'm waiting to see if this thing passes through Washington State, and hopefully it does. And maybe I get people off of ZipRecruiter to help me, because I'm getting where I can't do anything anymore. And I tried, and I can't do it alone. I find out. All right, have a good one. Best of luck on YouTube, everybody. Best of luck in Gundam universe, and hopefully my anime characters get out there, and keep awesome, keep strong, keep frosty. See you on the next time.